Hi, this is Lynn David Cole with Auto Travel TV. Today I'm here with Anand Hire at the Technology Conference for Ford in Dearborn, Michigan. Anand is from WellDoc, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the new systems that they're bringing online with Ford.
Absolutely. It's all about diabetes management, Lynn, and it's about bringing services to the patient in a manner that's convenient and safe for them when they're traveling in the car. What WellDoc is a technology healthcare company that takes diabetes data, their blood glucose levels, the carbohydrates, their medication, but provides the patient with meaningful coaching and information on what to do at various points in the day. Think about the average driver in the US that spends 200 million hours a week in their vehicle overall. And think about the number of patients in our country, 27 million people who have diabetes who need to manage their health. What WellDoc allows is this real-time coaching on how they should keep their glucose levels within range. If they're low, how to raise it. If it's high, how to bring it down. Just imagine if you're in the car, you can't be fumbling for your devices. But now at the push of a button on Ford's sync-enabled console, that data and that information and the knowledge and therefore the action that the patient has to take is delivered to them in Ford speak in a manner that keeps their hands on the wheel and keeps their eyes on the road.
Well, that's amazing because it's a real pain in the neck with people who have diabetes to have to stop and run their check when they feel a little funny. They don't even have to think about it, I guess, with this kind of technology. Can you give me some idea of the time frame, some roughly when you think this might be coming online and available to customers?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a couple of years out. I mean, today it's in a research phase, but you actually raised a good point about the convenience of not having to fumble and go get that data automatically. One of the areas of opportunity is it's not just about WellDoc services, it's about the sensors that integrate. So imagine a parent that's driving and their child is in the rear seat. Perhaps their child is a type 1 diabetic. They're on an insulin pump. They're on a continuous glucose monitor made by people such as Medtronic. Child is sleeping. Parent may not know whether they're sleeping or they're in a hypoglycemic coma. But now at the push of a button, they can get that automated sensor data. So it's not just peace of mind, but if they need to do something, they actually have access to what to do with WellDoc services. So think about how these sensors, WellDoc services, and the vehicle work together to improve the patient's health and really bring confidence and peace of mind to the driver.
Well, that's amazing. I'm just amazed at some of the things that are coming down the line. I thought to myself, how in the world are they going to do glucose monitoring? And there is a company now that is working on that has a system that they've got the pieces in place, and I guess you're going to take it to the level and aggregate the data from the glucose, the heart rate monitoring, and a lot of other things. And one of the things that struck my mind is we've got all this data coming in. You're going down the road. It gives the doctors a tremendous database to work with. Can you tell us a little bit about the future of that type of application for the technology?
It's a great question. Think about it. As it happens, I'm a diabetes patient myself. And I'm a good guy. I write down everything and I take it into my doctor. In fact, I'm a little bit of a nerd. I graph it and show him my trends. Think about the average patient who only sees their doctor maybe once or twice a year for 3 minutes in the office visit, and they don't go in with anything. And the doctor's supposed to tell them what to do. They're supposed to coach them on, listen, you need to work on this or your weight or your meds, or they have no idea. So they're like, you know what? You seem to be doing okay. Come back in 6 months and I'll see you then. And meanwhile, all these bad things are happening. So imagine if we can take all of that data, run it through evidence-based medicine, and don't bombard the doctor with all the data. That's the last thing they want. But give them the nuggets. Hey, this is where they were 3 months ago. This is where they are today. This is what's changed. And this is what evidence suggests you might want to discuss with them, but do what you think is right because you're the expert and you know your patient. And all of a sudden, in our clinical trials, we've seen amazing improvement in the way doctors prescribe medicines to patients, and we've seen amazing outcomes improvement for the patients themselves in terms of managing their glucose.
Well, another question that this begs is, have you thought about alerts? You know, your company can collect all this data. Of course, I assume that you guard the privacy very diligently.
Absolutely.
On that. Of course, there's a lot of laws out there in place and more laws coming into place to protect patient privacy. But we've got all this data coming in, and you have the ability to bring in and aggregate all the data and put it together and look, hey, you've got this, and this happening. Do you have the possibility of sending an alert to the patients? Hey, you need to go to the doctor. We think you may have this coming on.
So it's a very good question. In fact, think of these alerts at different levels of severity. So let's say I collect information about a patient's medication management, and let's see that I'm seeing a trend that they're skipping their medications. I can actually provide them behavioral coaching and the rationale as to why it's important that you continue to take your meds. You may be feeling good that day, but you still have to take your medication because that's what prevents you from having the emergency room visit. So that's a simple kind of alert, right? The next level up, it's something like glucose management. If the patient is feeling, say, sweaty, they can pull over to the side of the road, check their glucose, and actually get ADA recommended guidelines delivered to them through the Sync platform on how they raise their blood sugar. So that's a medium level alert. When you get to the high level alert in terms of, you're way out of bounds, it's time to see your doctor, or if it's an emergency, you should dial 911, or perhaps the vehicle can do that. That's a different type of alert. I think those are things that are possible in the future. Clearly, they come with different regulatory environments. They come with different liability environments. And those are the things that we need to watch out for. But for sure, the technology that allows that kind of integration of alerts and that kind of continuum of alerts to exist, that technology exists with what we're doing with Ford today.
Well, that's amazing. Now, is there a place that people can go and get more information about what you and your company do?
Absolutely. You can just go to our website at welldocinc.com. So it's WellDocinc.com. Right. And then they'll have access to all of the information, our clinical studies, our outcomes, and all the things we're doing to roll these services out.
Okay, everybody out there, be sure to look at the comments section below, and I will post a link to his website. And when I get more information, which I will be getting more information this conference, I'll post additional information. So be sure to look, and also leave comments. We love comments at Auto Travel TV. Thank you very much, Anand.
Thank you, Lynn.
It's a pleasure talking with you today.
You too.
This is Lynn David Cole with Auto Travel TV.